Every single year in the NFL, a bunch of good players become available by free agency. Their contract runs up and they look for huge extensions by the team they were on or another team. This is how teams completely change their roster overnight. And today we're going to talk about the top 50 NFL free agents that are going to change a team, whatever team they go to. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please subscribe and let's get right into it. Before we really get started with today's video, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching my videos. I think this has been one of the most successful months since I started this podcast late 2024. I greatly appreciate everyone's support, everyone who comes in the live streams, who subscribed, watches my video. I greatly appreciate it, and let's keep rolling to bigger, better things. All right, so looking at ESPN's top 50 NFL free agent list, we're going to go right through it. Just missed is first off Jalen Thompson on the Arizona Cardinals, Dallas Goedert, Devin Bush, Kevin Byard, and Kwity Paye. We're gonna talk about how these players are, potential teams they could go to, stuff like that. We're just gonna take a look at all the NFL 2026 technically free agents that you guys may not know about. Alex Anzalone kicks off the list at number 50, linebacker. He's a very good tackle monster, very good tackling in the run game, scheme to blitzer, coverage. He's pretty good too. He had 2.5 sacks and 8 pass breakups this year. He is going to be 31 years old though, so he's probably going to go to a contender or stay with Detroit. That would be my prediction for Anzalone. He is an underrated linebacker though. Kenneth Gainwell, I'm not very high on. Um, he's not terrible, but I don't think he's really a starting running back. He might stay in Pittsburgh behind Caleb Johnson and oh my gosh, I forgot their other running back. Oh my goodness, who's the Steelers running back? Was it just Kenneth Gainwell? No, there was somebody else. I'm just not thinking of them. Oh well, but brain fart, it happens. But I feel like Gainwell is kind of just in the rotation, maybe two back system. He's not bad though. Nakobe Dean is a great football player. I would love him in Carolina. I think he's a really good linebacker. Obviously, a Georgia Bulldog. Anybody who played for Georgia on defense is a really good NFL player. Nakobe Dean is solid though. I know he's had a knee injury, but he came back in the playoffs last year with 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 55 tackles in 10 games in 2025. Or excuse me, that was this season. He played well, very good on the blitz. Um, he does a good job of attacking running backs in pass pro, and he gets the ball pretty quick, especially on the edges. Nakobe Dean, 25 years old, coming off a rookie contract. I think he's going to be a very good addition to whoever gets him. Kobe Bryant, I think, is another underrated player. Seattle probably won't keep him because of the safety depth they already have. And the secondary they have, they probably can't afford it. He had 4 interceptions this season. He's going to be a great player for wherever he goes. 20 years old, again, good safety. Rico Dowdle, a lot of people are saying, Carolina should trade Chuba Hubbard, bring back Rico. I don't believe in that. I believe that Chuba Hubbard is better than Rico Dowdle. I think Chuba Hubbard was battling the calf injury most of the year. He tried to come back too quick because he's seen how well Rico was playing, and he wasn't playing well. Chuba eventually got it together. I think Rico is a solid running back, 28 years old next season, but I think Chuba is better. Rico is going to go to another team because he wants starter role. He wants more carries, and Jonathan Brooks will be back for the Carolina Panthers. So I will expect Rico Dowdle to go to another team next year, and he's probably going to go to like a contender who doesn't have a running back or a team that very desperately needs one. But whatever team Rico Dowdle goes, expect him to be a starter. Leo Chanel is another great underrated player, 25 years old. He's a player I'd love for the Carolina Panthers. He's versatility, any game plan. He can play off ball in the front seven, line up as a stand-up defensive tackle. He's good at tackling the ball in the run game from the second level. 193 tackles in 4 seasons, 7 sacks, and 28 pressures. He's been a huge part of that Steve Spagnuolo Chiefs defense in the last couple seasons, in my opinion. Leo Chanel is a heck of a player. Jaquan Brisker is okay. He's not bad. I feel like he's slightly overrated. I know he's a downhill safety, creates disruption. Played all 17 games this season, which is impressive. He has 4 interceptions in 4 seasons. He's 27 years old. I don't know if he's somebody you want to throw a bunch of money at, but he's not bad. Jaquan Brisker, not bad. Cade Mays, Carolina Panthers. Now, a lot of people probably don't know about Cade Mays, but I will tell you about him. He is an offensive lineman that is very athletic. He can play anywhere in the interior, left guard, center, right guard. He was very underrated the last 2 seasons. Whenever the Panthers needed him to step up and play, he did very well at that. Cade Mays is solid. I believe he could be a starter in this league. 27 years old next year. Let's see. Yeah, he's very good at winning in pass pro. His run blocking is okay, but he has a very good pass block percentage with 94.3. Cade Mays, he played interior. He's a very underrated football player. Joel Batino is good too, but he's 34 years old. I feel like he's either going to go back to Cleveland for a year, go to a contender for a year, retire. This is somebody who I don't think is going to play more than another year in the NFL if they play this year. But before that, again, a lot of respect for Joel. 12-year pro, started 1 of 78 games. He's very good. If he returns for his 13th season, hopefully he goes to a real contender besides the Browns. Cam Crow is another underrated player, safety, obviously from the Los Angeles Rams. He's played in at least 16 games over the past 3 seasons. He can play in a lot of different positions based off when I've seen him. He is very good at tackling, especially in the run front. Career high 122 tackles this year. So he's coming off a career year, 27 years old. He's going to want the bag with whatever team he goes to next. Wan'Dale Robinson isn't bad. I feel like he's your maybe wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. Obviously a smaller player, 5'8", 185, slot receiver, but he has a lot of speed. He can cover the field with seconds. Career best 14 receptions. Since Giants didn't have Malik Neighbors, he became their number 1 target. He's going to be 25 entering the season. Wan'Dale Robinson would be good for a team, that has a receiver or two, but just looking to add some speed and someone in the slot. All right, moving on, we got Chig Okonkwo. He is a underrated player for the tight ends. The Titans, he's a tight end. You don't hear much about Titans players, specifically the underrated ones there, but Chig is one of them. 27 years old, motion movement player in the pass game. He could play versatility. Excuse me. He can run seam and corner routes. Kind of looks like a receiver out there, even though he's 6'3", 238. 61% of his total receiving production came after the catch, so he is a good receiving tight end. Whatever team gets him on a good deal is going to be great to have him. Chig Okonkwo is an underrated player. Joey Bosa, I don't see getting a huge contract. He's 31 years old. He's always been good, especially with the Chargers. But injuries, man. Injuries and injuries and injuries. Teams won't pay players that are past 30 years old who keep getting hurt. Unfortunately for Joey Bosa, that is him. But if he stays in Buffalo, probably be a year or 2 contract, and if not, he'll go to another contender. Nahshon Wright, Chicago Bears, 27 years old. He is one of the most underrated quarterbacks, I believe, in the league. 6'4", 199. He had a career best 5 interceptions in 2025. 1 for a pick 6, broke up 7. He has high-end recovery speed, his length, play instincts, and production. He is a very good football player. Whatever team gets him is going to be so thankful that they got him. 27 years old. You can give him easily a 4 or 5 year deal. And Nahshon Wright is a very underrated player. We got 2 Bills here. David Edwards and Connor McGovern, both 28. Well, McGovern's 28. Edwards is 29. Both these guards were pretty good. Versatility in the interior offensive line. We'll have to see if they stay in Buffalo or go to a different team. But this isn't good for Buffalo right here, losing 2 starting guards. Definitely something that they won't appreciate. But we will see if they stay or where they go. Greg Newsome was obviously traded from the Cleveland Browns to the Jacksonville Jaguars for Tyson Campbell. 1-for-1 trade, pretty much. He only has 4 career interceptions, but he has a lot of pass breakups. And sometimes it's good when a cornerback doesn't have a lot of interceptions because that means quarterbacks are not throwing their way, which means they are strapping up the player they are guarding. But Greg Newsome, underrated player, smaller kind of player, but after being traded, he is a free agent, and we'll have to see if he stays with Jacksonville, which I personally think he will, or if he goes to another team. Zion Johnson was the only good offensive lineman on the Chargers this year, besides, Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt before they got hurt. Um, Underrated player, 26 years old. We'll have to see if he comes back. I'd say the Chargers need to bring him back. How bad their offensive line was last year, letting Zion walk is not going to help that. It's going to be interesting. 26 years old, Zion Johnson, underrated player. Reed Blankenship is also underrated, but I think he's going to stay in Philadelphia. I don't think they'll let him leave. Philadelphia is going to keep that strong secondary. Not really going to talk about him because I believe he's going to stay there 100%. Isaac Samolu from Pittsburgh, older guard, but he's solid, 10-year veteran, has a foot quickness to redirect defenders, body control to Russell against power rushers, 97.3 pass rush win rate, which is very good. He had a very good season, very good last couple seasons, a veteran, solid option for a contender. Steelers aren't contenders, but I mean a real contender. Boye Mafe, edge, he had a good year last year. He can attack the tackles very well. Effort level and pursuit from the backside also lead to second reaction sacks. Mafe can still refine his pass rushing plan, but the traits are there to produce in a system that schemes favorable matchups out of multiple fronts. Mafe had 2 sacks and 33 pressures this season. Mafe is underrated. 29 years old. Give him a 2-3 year deal. He's not bad. Obviously from the Seahawks. We'll have to see if he stays there or goes. Javonte Williams was one of those players who have been mid for a few years, not really getting it done. But this season, he had a career year. He had a very good year. Let's see. Career high, 1,200 yards, 26 carries of 10 or more yards, average 2.6 yards after first contact. A lot of mid running backs average 2.6 yards. Javonte averaged 2.6 after contact. He is a very good running back based off this year. 29 years old, it's a little risk, but if you give him a 1 or 2 year deal, he could be a valuable asset to a contender, if you ask me. All right, moving on to the next player. We have K'Lavon Chaisson. If I remember correctly, he was a former Panther. I swear he was on our league at some point, on our roster at some point. But K'Lavon Chaisson, he has played really well for the Raiders this year. He is a underrated player, or Patriots, excuse me. Played well with the Raiders last year. K'Lavon Chaisson, he had a lot of big plays this year. 27 years old, very good off the edge. And let's see, he had 7.5 sacks this season, 32 pressures. He had 3 more sacks in the team's first 3 playoff games. So K'Lavon Chaisson had a really good year. Rashid Shaheed has been very good for Seattle. A lot of people said when Seattle traded for Rashid Shaheed, why did they trade for him? They have JSN, Cooper Kupp, Jake Bobo, Torrey Horton. They have all those players. Why did they make that trade? The 2 running backs. Don't question John Snyder. Don't. He knew they needed speed. Shaheed brings it. How many special teams touchdowns does he have? I mean, him taking that opening kick against the Niners to the house was electric. He can stretch defenses vertically with his speed. He can turn 2-yard screen into a 30-yard gain. Rashid Shaheed, wherever he goes, is a huge speed asset. And we'll have to see what kind of contracts he gets because he could do special teams, obviously, too. Brian Cook is an underrated safety from the Chiefs. He splits in both split field and single high schemes. So that is a very good, attractive trait to a GM. 2022 second round pick. So he's coming off basically a rookie contract. Highest ranked player at his position on this list. 6 PBUs in 25 and played 83% of Chiefs defensive snaps this year. Brian Cook is underrated, and I wouldn't mind him in Carolina. Kenneth Walker. I feel like he would have more touchdowns if they gave him the ball a little more in the red zone. But he's had an incredible season. He can find cutback lanes and zone schemes, provide big playability. 33 rushes of 10 or more yards were 6th most in the regular season. And he can be targeted on screens or swing routes out of the backfield. He had at least 25 receptions in all 4 of his NFL seasons. So he's not only a good running back, but he's a good receiving back. Kenneth Walker made a lot of huge plays for Seattle this year, and we'll have to see if he stays there or if he goes somewhere else, he's going to get a bag either way. Kyle Pitts. Now, this is an interesting one because I'd say about 3 years he was mid. He was expected to be a very big game changer. But this year, he had a career year and it wasn't even close. 88 catches, 928, and 5 touchdowns. He almost had 1,000 yards. That's very impressive for a tight end. This is the Kyle Pitts everyone expected rookie year. He does need to be more willing to be an inline blocker. They are getting a huge upside in the versatility in the pass game here, and he has the tools to find favorable matchups from a variety of pre-snap alignments. Kyle Pitts Sr. last year, breakout year. We'll have to see if teams trust it or not. The good thing is he is only 25 years old. Compared to Khalil Mack, who is a good player, but he's 35 years old. 5.5 sacks this season. He's going to keep chugging. I remember when he was with Chicago. Very good football player. He was, right? I'm not mistaken by that. Okay, just had to make sure. Raiders, Bears, Chargers. That's what I thought. Just wanted to be right. But Khalil Mack, always heck of a player. Obviously getting older now, but if he plays next year, please go to a higher up contender than the Chargers. Not saying they're bad, but come on. Romeo Doubs is a player I want Carolina to pursue. He is one of those players that he can get you 4 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown when you give him the ball. He's not bad. He has very good route running traits. He's quick, more willing to work the middle of the field. He is a deep threat, in my opinion. 5 of his 6 touchdowns on red zone targets. He's very reliable. This will be a good player for the Panthers. I feel like Romeo Doubs does an excellent job of stretching the field. He has good hands, especially in the red zone. Romeo Doubs only at 27 years old. We'll have to see if he stays Green Bay, which I doubt he will because all the receivers they already have. Romeo's about to get that bag. Next up, we have Isaiah Likely on the Ravens. Obviously, he's kind of a 2 tight end set with Mike Andrews. He has very good catch and run traits. More viewed as a move around tight end, kind of like Kyle Pitts, get favorable matchups in the passing game. He had 301 yards and a touchdown this season, which slowed down a bit, obviously, but he's not a bad football player. 27 years old. We'll have to see if a team takes a chance on him. Devin Lloyd is a really good player. I hope Carolina gets him. Very good linebacker. Very physical. 5 interceptions of the season. 1 for a touchdown. Solid starter. High level ability. He's a very good player at only 27 years old. Travis Etienne Jr. is similar to Kenneth Walker, if you ask me, but he looked very much more explosive than he did in prior years in 2025. Daylight runner, 26 rushes of 10 or more yards. He's also capable as a wide receiver. He had 116 yards and a touchdown in Jacksonville's wild card loss. Travis Etienne Jr. is a solid running back. I think he's around the time coming off his rookie contract. If not, he's coming off like a year or 2 contract, whatever it was. We'll have to see what team gets Travis Etienne, but he's a solid player. Malik Willis. I've always spoke high on him. I've always said he was a good backup. He deserves a chance to start. I feel like, where was he drafted? He was drafted to Tennessee, right? He wasn't really set up to succeed when he was drafted there, if you ask me. But the last 2 seasons, stepping up in the backup role, he has 6 touchdowns, 0 picks. Last year, he did really well when Jordan Love was out for a bit. So we'll have to see where he goes. If you ask me right now, I think he's going to the Dolphins to play for Jeff Hafley for a year as kind of like a maybe, future bridge, whatever. Malik Willis is a solid player that can get you. We'll have to see if he starts. I hope he does. Let him earn his opportunity, but he's 27 years old. We'll have to see where he goes. If he stays at Green Bay, but I think he's going to pursue starter money, and Miami is a good place to do that. Jalen Watson is underrated, not the huge playmaker, but he is very good in press, route awareness, play down, top down on the ball in zone schemes, career 3 interceptions, and 23 PBUs. Mike Evans, 33 years old. I don't think he's going anywhere outside of Tampa Bay. Heck of a player, always has been. Tariq Woolen, another player in that Seattle secondary that has been huge, 27 years old. He has 12 interceptions in his first 4 years in the NFL. He's staying in Seattle. He's not going anywhere. Quay Walker is another player I'd love for the Panthers to get, 26 years old. He got a lot of sacks. Wait. No. I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm thinking of Rashawn Gary. Excuse me. Overall, Walker had 2.5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, and 4 pass breakups. He's a very good player. I feel like he can get to the ball pretty quick. He's very good in the run game. He would be very good for Carolina. Alante Taylor is an underrated slot corner. Um, 4 interceptions in 4 seasons, 40 pass breakups, 7 sacks. He's also very good off the blitz. Alante Taylor's underrated. John Franklin Myers, 29 years old. I feel like he's going back to Denver. Braden Smith is older, but he'll stay with Indianapolis. He's 6'6", 312, easily matching power and pass pro. Injuries are a concern. Missed 17 games over the past 3 seasons, but last year he started 13 games with a pass block win rate improved by 7%. Odafe Owe, I wouldn't take a chance of. I know he was good last year after getting traded. I feel like that was more a schematic thing, though, playing for the Chargers, aka Jesse Minter. That's one of the reasons Jesse Minter got a head coaching job, because a coach's job is to take what they have and bring it to another level. And he definitely did that with Odafe Owe. We'll have to see if he gets the bag or team takes a chance on him, but I don't want Carolina being aggressive for him. Rasheed Walker is a very good tackle. High block, pass block win rate. Technique does need a little improvement. Lacks a strong anchor, but he has the footwork and mobility, which is simple fundamentals. Walker is a very good offensive tackle, 26 years old. Breece Hall, get out of New York. Go for a fresh start. 25 years old. I feel like he's going to the Chiefs. I've kind of had this all over. Writing on the wall. Breece Hall to the Chiefs. Let's see. He has 87 rushes of 10 or more in 4 seasons. He's a 3-down back. He would definitely be the starter wherever he goes. He's a very good football player. Alec Pierce, very good at deep ball last year for the Colts. If Carolina can get him or Dobbs to add to the receiver room, it would be very nice. Pierce is 26 years old. He has speed, get open down the field. He has an increased role, and he has the skills to produce as a multi-level route runner. Jalen Phillips for the Eagles, injury concerns when he was with the Dolphins, but he played really well last year. Pocket disruptor and an edge setter. Since being traded, he had 2 sacks, 27 pressures in Vic Fangio's system. Over his 5-year career, Phillips has accounted for 28 sacks and 150 pressures. Then you have Daniel Jones. I don't think he will play probably the first 3 or 4 games of the season, but once he comes back, I don't know if you should put him this high on the list yet. I know he was good, but, it was only 1 year. We'll have to see how he bounces back. I hope he does. I feel like the Colts will bring him back, but they will bring in somebody like, I don't know, Jacoby Brissett to start until he comes back. Linderbaum is an elite center. Tyler Linderbaum is an elite center, 26 years old, very good football player. I hope he goes to Carolina somehow. And then you have George Pickens, 25-year-old receiver. I feel like he's going to stay in Dallas, but will he want more money than CeeDee Lamb? We will see. If he doesn't stay in Dallas, he's going to get a huge bag, maybe New England. And then Trey Hendrickson is going to the Panthers. I'm telling you that right now. 31 years old. He's going to want a fresh start. Cincinnati has kind of just pissed him off with all the franchise tags and all that. Trey Hendrickson's going to be a Carolina Panthers, and you can't convince me otherwise. But comment down below what free agent you want your team to pursue and why. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe if you're new. Comment down below your favorite team and who you want them to pursue in free agency. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.